Unmute that. Hello everybody, you can hear us all messing. Sorry, oh. Right. We should give that a wee minute, Richard. Let me see if it catches up. I'm not taking responsibility for that, chat. It's totally not me. We've only 2 people. We've lost everybody.
I imagine this thing's messing up a bunch.
I'm waiting for the video to catch up. Oh my goodness, there's a wild delay. Can you see any picture yet?
I have History of the Books of Enoch starting soon. We have David Clark in the side chat. Never seen the name David Clark. If you can hear us, thanks for showing up. Peace and respect.
Hi, David. Yeah, thanks.
Spartan Theology just came in. Another brilliant mind.
Now, that should be working now. In about 10-15 seconds, that should change.
Well, you know, I'm still inclined to tell them thanks for showing up and tell them to see them next week, because I just get the feeling this is not going to stop doing this for a while.
No, we're sorted now. We're sorted now, man. I've checked my speed and all. It's definitely, and if other people are streaming, it's probably just us out in Northern Ireland.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll go for it. Everybody's starting to roll in now. We're back up to nearly 10 people. Everybody, thank you. My goodness. YouTube, if this crashes again, just to let everyone know, if it does crash again, we are not going to attempt a third time. We're not. It's not worth it. We will, and just to let you know, next week I do have an awful lot of streams on Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Sunday night. So we might be giving next Thursday a miss as well. So I do apologise. You'll have to do without us for 2 weeks. I don't know how you're going to survive. But if it crashes, we're not going to attempt again. But we are going to wing it as best we can. We're going to go for it now. And yeah, thanks David Clark for turning up. Kevin's turned up. Spartan's turned up. Really appreciate you all putting up with us. And Richard, we will start again. To whom are these going? Holding.
Yeah, in case this thing shuts off, thanks for showing up, guys. Really appreciate you guys. Honestly, I do. Okay, so we'll try to pick this up and we'll see what happens. Maybe it'll keep going. To whom are these things holding them? And he said to me, each one to his chosen and his beloved, that they be thrown in the deep abyss of the valley, and then that valley will be filled with their chosen and beloved, and the day of their lives will be ended, and the day of their error will, from that time on, not be counted. That's an interesting line. And in those days the angels will assemble and turn their heads toward the east, towards the people of Parthia and Media, in order to excite the kings, and that a spirit of disturbance come over them, and disturb them from off their thrones, that they come forth from their resting places like lions, and like hungry wolves amidst their flocks. And they will ascend and step upon the land of their chosen, and the land of his chosen will be before them a threshing floor. Can you move that back down, please, to where it's highlighted? I think there was some pretty important lines right there at the beginning of that.
Go on ahead. Get them out before it crashes.
Well, if it crashes, it crashes. Okay, so the valley that will have them and their beloved. Just in case people are new to the stream and what this is talking about, the context here is the Nephilim, the children, and also the fallen will be trapped in this valley. And I find this line very interesting. And the day of their error will, from that time on, not be counted. To me, and tell me what you think, Math, that looks like forgiveness.
I'm looking for that line and I'm realizing I'm in the wrong one. Where am I?
It's right under that blue that you already have highlighted. It's right under that. The next line.
Oh, there we go.
It's 4. Highlight all of 4. You'll see it. I know you spot numbers easily.
I know what I'm trying to keep up with the way you're talking and all, but now I got lost. Right, and then the valley will be filled with their chosen and beloved, and the day of their lives will be ended, and the day of their error will, from that time on, not be counted.
So the day of their error, from that time on, will not be counted. That sounds like the completion of their sentencing, the completion of their punishment.
For the fallen people, the kings.
For the fallen, I don't think I could take that all the way back to kings. I think this is talking about the angels. Yeah, and the angels will assemble and turn their heads.
Sorry, just flashing back here, I think it mentioned kings.
Yeah.
It did mention kings just back here somewhere.
Yes, it did, but then it moved on to the angels to be punished.
Yeah. Right. So
this looks like, unlike American law, where you can go to jail and it follows you around the rest of your existence, this looks like after they've done their punishment, that it will not be counted against them any further. That's what that line looks like to me. What do you think?
I'm getting confused because the bad people were left on earth for the earth to be blown up, and now they're being forgiven.
Yeah, after the earth blows up.
Oh, after the earth blows up.
And their flesh has perished with the planet, they are forgiven. That's the end of it. They've paid their due.
Oh, right. Well, if you're taking that as the timeline, then, yeah, I keep forgetting that non-corporeal.
Right, that they would, I think the completion of their sentencing, the execution of their sentence, is that they physically have to die. Now, what happens to a spirit in the text, there's no killing of a spirit. So what happens to their spirit after that? It looks like, this is cleaning their slate, so to speak. This is wiping off the chalkboard. At least that's what it looks like to me.
Yes. Well, I would give you that in the context that there is a non-corporeal form from your point of view. Because
right.
As I said, the problem I had there was, how can they be forgiven if they've already been punished and killed? And then you say,
right.
Doesn't matter, they've got a spirit.
It's been long-standing with me that the spirit of human beings is maintained in heaven, and the recovery of spirits is possible for heaven, even though the flesh has perished.
Yes, I keep forgetting that. Not that I keep forgetting it, I keep forgetting that you believe that.
Yes, it is true that I believe that. There's not a whole lot of reason for you to remember it, really, if you think about it.
Well, we're on the internet. I have to make sure everything's clear and precise, and people get all antsy about that. You didn't say that word the right way. Oh, dearie me.
Yeah, well, okay. So let's see. We're at 5. So 6 is a little bit premature right this moment.
No, it's not. We did 5. Did you not?
You're right. You're right. We did 5.
Yeah.
Wolves amidst their flocks.
Never premature. Ask the girl.
Good for you. Good for your lady too, I suppose. So, and they will ascend and step upon the land of their chosen, and the land of his chosen will be before them a threshing floor and a path. But the city of my just will be a hindrance to their horses, and they will take up a battle amongst them, and their right will become strong against themselves, and a man will not know his neighbor or his brother, nor the son his father or his mother, until there shall be sufficient bodies by their death, and their punishment over them. It will not be in vain. And in those days the mouth of Sheol will be opened, and they will sink into it, and their destruction. Sheol will devour the sinners from the presence of the chosen. Yeah, I guess it will. So, if the crust is melting, that will it'll look pretty much like that.
So again, we're jumping back in time. It's flip-flopping between the timeline here.
Well, I do think he's referring back several times throughout all of this work. It seems like it's always referring back to some other part.
And they ascend and
I mean, except for the very beginning of it.
And the land of the chosen from the threshing floor. City of just right, okay. It's just slobbering on, okay.
Yeah, repeating itself a lot.
Right, then you've got this.
And it came to pass after this that I saw again a host of wagons upon which men were riding. And they came upon the wind from the east and from the west to the south. And the noise of their wagons was heard. And as the commotion took place, the holy ones from heaven noticed it, and the pillars of the earth were moved from their place. And it was heard from the ends of the earth to the ends of the heaven in one day. And they will all fall down and bend the knee before the Lord of spirits. And this is the end of the second parable.
I love the way you
Well, that's the end of that story.
I love the way you said it. And this is the end of the second parable.
What do we got here? Oh, a whole bunch of citation. Okay.
The stuff that we probably should read, which will give more context, but we're just going to skip
Well,
it.
you know, it does and it doesn't. It does in the classical way of looking at these texts, but the
Doesn't
more
have
of
your
those
point
things
of
I
view.
read, the more I just laugh.
Doesn't have your point of view. Is that what you're saying?
Well, it's just quite ridiculous. I mean, if the book has value other than a piece of literature, if there's any truth in it, the way people look at it is ridiculous. Now, if it's just a piece of interesting literature that matters in the history of the earth to certain people, okay. If that's what you study, that's cool.
Well, it's a lot of people agree on it.
Oh, yeah, plenty.
And I'm not saying that from a fucking that stupid fallacy or whatever it's called. I'm saying a lot of people agree on it for reasons. Like a lot of people agree in evolution. Oh, no, let's not go down that route either. Okay.
No, you're right. There's definitely a scholarly consensus that most theologians also hold to.
Oh, I love the
Definitely.
way you're very specific on your words. You see, you have to be specific on your words. Okay, chapter
That is definitely
58.
true.
Oh goodness, we have a third parable.
A third, of course, there's a third parable. This thing goes up to 73 total books. I mean, come on.
Yeah, well, we're nearing the end. We're nearing the end.
Or 73 chapters, I mean.
Yeah.
And I began to speak the third parable concerning the just and concerning the chosen. Blessed are ye, the just and the chosen, for your portion is glorious. And the just will be in the light of the sun, and the chosen in the light of the everlasting life. And there will be no end to the days of their life, and the days of the holy will be without number. And they will seek the light, and will find justice with the Lord of the spirits. There will be peace to the just with the Lord of the world. And after that, it will be said to the holy, that they should seek in heaven the secrets of justice, the portion of faith in fidelity. For it has risen like the sun on the earth, and darkness has disappeared. And there will be an increasing light, and in the number of days they will not enter.
Unceasing, not increasing.
Where?
It says unceasing.
Sorry, my eyes are not so grand. It does read unceasing, you're right. And there will be an unceasing light, and the number of the days they will not enter, because darkness will be destroyed first, and the light will be mighty before the Lord of spirits, and the light of rectitude will be strong in eternity before the Lord of spirits. I really should just stand closer so I can see better.
In all honesty, I don't really think it made any much of a difference, increasing or unceasing, the implication of the words in the text.
You're very kind. Yes, I misread the word. That's all there is to it.
Oh, no.
Let's see. What do we have here? Do we have anything that's new?
I'm just saying,
Chosen with
great
glorious.
people. The wonderful people get the light. The bad people don't.
I think that sums it up.
Yeah, 59.
And in those days my eyes saw the secrets of the lightning and the masses of light and their judgments, and they flashed for a blessing and for a curse, as the Lord of the spirits desired. And there I saw the secrets of thunder, and how when it resounds above the heavens its sound is heard, And they showed me the dwelling places of the earth and of the thunder, either for peace or a blessing or for a curse, according to the word of the Lord of spirits. And after that, all the secrets of the luminaries and of the lightning were shown to me, as they flash for a blessing and for satisfaction. I think there's truth in that once we leave off of this planet, we're going to see a lot more stuff of outer space and understand what exactly lightning and all these things really are. Ooh, big bunch of references. Woohoo!
We know what bloody lightning is, but in saying that...
we do and we don't.
Well, we do. But I'm just going to say...
No, we don't.
Okay. Well, if I got to heaven, which you think is a spaceship, and I didn't get to see...
Basically.
And didn't get to see more of the universe, the cosmos, whatever you want to call it, I'd feel a bit ripped off.
I would too. That's why I'm not going to be an engineer.
Right. Skipping the bit that disagrees with Richard in every way and actually agrees with everybody. Okay.
Yep, skipping that part.
Skipping that because that's no fun.
And section 10. Here we are, 60 out of 73. That's amazing. In the year 500, and in the 7th month, on the 14th day of the month, of the life of Enoch, in that parable I saw that the heaven of heavens shook tremendously, and the host of the Most High, and the angels, 1,000 times 1,000, and 10,000 times 10,000, were disturbed exceedingly. And then I saw the head of days, sitting upon the throne of his glory, and the angels and the just ones stood around him. And a great trembling took hold of me, and fear seized me, and my loins were bent and were loosened. That means he crapped his pants. And my whole being melted together, and I fell down on my face. Well, maybe at least urinated himself anyway. And the holy Michael sent another holy angel, one of the holy angels, and he raised me up. And as he raised me, my spirit returned, for I had not been able to endure the sight of this host and of that trembling and shaking of heaven. And the holy Michael said to me, on account of what vision is such trembling? Up to today was the day of his mercy, and he was merciful and slow to anger over those who dwell on the earth. But when the day of the power and of the punishment and judgment come, when the Lord of the spirits has prepared for those who bow to the judgment of justice, and for those who deny the judgment of justice, and for those who take his name in vain, that day has been prepared a covenant for the chosen, and a test for the sinners. And on that day, 2 monsters will be distributed. I wonder who they're going to be. A female monster named Leviathan, to dwell upon the depth of the sea, over the fountains of the waters. But the masculine is named Behemoth, who occupies with his breast a void called Dendane, in the east of the garden, where the chosen and the holy will dwell, where my grandfather was taken up, the 7th from Adam, the first of men whom the Lord of the spirits made. And I asked that other angel that he should show me the power of those monsters. Lost it.
Under
show
9.
The power of those monsters.
Under 9.
9. That's what they show me the power of the Okay. How they were separated in one day, and that one descended into the depths of the sea, and the other to the desert land. And he said to me, Thou son of man, thou desirest to know here that which is a secret. Then the other angel who went with me spoke to me, and showed me that which was secret, the first and the last, which is the heavens on high, and in the earth in the deep, and on the ends of the heavens, and on the foundations of heaven, and in the repositories of the winds. And 12 starts there and finishes somewhere else. And how the spirits are... Right. Let's go over that first. We'll do 12 later, I suppose.
Yeah, because it's another page. So. Yeah, that's all you're getting.
That's all you're getting. That's as small as it can get.
Well, it can get
okay,
smaller,
so...
but you aren't going to read it.
If I hold my face close enough, maybe.
And I've
hold my head really still.
I've stretched the camera as well to make you fit inside the square. So when you're up that close, you probably look like a big cheerful Santa.
Pretty much. Yeah, my face is pretty much filling. It's my head's taller than the screen by a little bit.
Just to point out, it's Enoch, Richard. We're going to call it Enoch here on this show. On this channel, we call it Enoch. Not what you call
Not
it.
Enish?
Not Enish, Enoch.
Okay. Why not Enish? It's pronounced either way, depending on where you are.
That's the first time you've done it.
Enoch.
It took you 60 chapters to say that.
Enoch.
Right,
okay.
Yeah.
So here we have Leviathan and Behemoth, which I in no way believe are a hippopotamus or an elephant or anything like that. I think they're two special kind of dinosaur, so to speak. I know dinosaur is a very general term.
Seriously, you're no, don't do a Hovend. Okay, go on ahead.
No, I think they're actually dinosaurs that have never been on this planet before, and that they are designed to be in further explanation of Leviathan. It's the
if they've never been on this planet, if they did not come from this planet, they cannot be referred to as dinosaur. You are more than welcome to.
Why do you say that?
Why? Because they're from a different planet.
Well, it's my belief system that all things on this planet came from some other source.
Okay, right. Well, if you said to me, Robbie, there is a Homo sapien that came from another planet, I would go, right, that's dead on. But the fact that you're using such an umbrella term.
I don't know. Can you open up my screen? Can you enlarge my screen, share my screen, or whatever?
Nope. I haven't got a scene for that. Hold on. No, I can. Deal with this. Freaking live production.
I had a friend of mine who's really a pretty decent artist, I think. Do a rendition of Leviathan that's like compared to a house, and that should be somewhat what it looks like, somewhat to scale. And the job of Leviathan is to if in end times someone kills someone else unjustly, he's to chase them down and eat them. That's his job.
Put that back up again, Richard. Just a wee second. Could you put it back up again? Just while
I'm going to do Behemoth too, but okay. So it's like a snake-like creature.
It looks very much like a cross between a Chinese dragon and I think a third evolution of a Pokemon, a water Pokemon.
Well, you might have those expressions backwards, that it's more the other way around. That the Chinese dragon is more based on this than the other way around, but. This is an artist's conception. I told him the description in the text that its scales are hard like turtle shells, and they're like stuck together with mucus or something. You can't pry them apart. And this is a drawing he did for me of Behemoth, who is supposed to look a little bit stupid,
Oh, that
but just a monstrous thing that just eats dead human flesh.
That would make a class tattoo.
Yeah, he's a decent artist. Yeah, that would make a good tattoo.
The way it's against that writing is very good as well. It's probably a camera trick, but it looks slightly three-dimensional. It looks like it's out from the writing. The way it's probably the camera.
Yeah, he's a good artist, and I drew behind it with I did the lettering afterward actually, and that's the actual text describing it behind it.
Yeah, you're gonna have to send me.
Not that you can read it.
No, you're gonna have to actually scan them and send me pictures of them.
I'd love to.
Yeah, I really like the Behemoth.
Yeah.
That is a fantastic drawing.
So Behemoth is pretty much just a really big vacuum cleaner for people who've died in end times of diseases and what have you. That's his job. That he just prevents spread of disease. That's what he does. Just a monstrous thing. In the expansive tale of Behemoth, it says that he wears the breastplate of the invisible wilderness. I take that to mean insanity. Like if you looked at it, you might not keep your insanity, or you might not keep your sanity for just having seen it. It might blow your mind. Like literally, you might lose touch from reality just for seeing it so big.
It's a damn class drawing. I'll say that. It's a damn class drawing. Right, so you've covered, we've got what looks like an original damn class drawing, and the other thing that sort of looks like a Chinese dragon crossed with, it really did look like that is it the third level water Pokemon that starts off as a duck?
I'm sorry, I don't know Pokemon.
I haven't watched Pokemon since like the 90s, man, but I think it starts off as a really stupid fish that's no good, and then it turns into a giant snake. Like, somebody in the chat is bound to be a Pokemoner. That is third level Pokemon, the Leviathan, for definite. Peter is in disagreement. Your behemoth pick looks nothing like an elephant.
Yeah, he's right. It looks nothing like an elephant. Nothing at all. I don't expect it's going to... Now, my friend who did those drawings, I think he really made his teeth look too much like they're designed to kill something. I think they should have been more all grinding teeth. You know, like a mule or like a grass-eating animal, something like that. Because it doesn't apparently chase anything. It just licks up dead bodies and crunches them.
So it isn't a water creature. It's definitely not third level.
Oh, it does like the water. Apparently, it does like the water, and it does like trees. But it's just a vacuum cleaner for the dead.
Yeah, but teeth are very, very distinctive of what they eat.
Well, yeah, that's true. I don't know what kind of teeth it'll have. The text doesn't go into that kind of detail. I'm just saying, in my imagination, it just seems like it would have more grinding teeth than sharp canine teeth for like hunting, because it's not a hunter.
Shapes of teeth are fantastic. Yeah, there's so much in the shape of a tooth. Right, we finished there. Did we go number 12? I'll do this wee bit. And how the spirits are. There you go. Back to you, Richard.
And how the spirits are divided. And how weighing is done.
That was my only little bit of thunder. Don't steal my little bit of thunder.
Well, you can read the whole thing if you want. It's okay with me.
No. I come in small packages. I'm just.
I like your voice, man.
Yeah. It's the only good thing everybody agrees on about this channel. It's not the content. It's the way it sounds.
And how weighing is done, and how the fountains and the winds are counted according to the power of the Spirit, and the power of the lights of the moon, and that it is a power of justice, and the divisions of the stars according to their names, and how each division is divided, and peals of thunder according to the places where they fall, and all the divisions that are made among the flashes of lightning, and that lightning may take place, and their hosts obey. Man, this weird sentence structure, isn't it? Mm-hmm. For the thunder has places of rest for the awaiting of its peal, and thunder and lightning are inseparable. And although not one, both go together through the Spirit and are not separated. For when the lightning flashes, the thunder utters its voice, and the Spirit causes a rest during the flash, and divides equally between them. For the treasury of their flashes is like the sand, and each one of them, in its flash, is held with a bridle, and turned back by the power of the Spirit, and is pushed forward according to the number of the directions on the earth. And the spirit of the sea is masculine and strong, and according to the strength of his power, he draws it, the sea, back with a bridle. And in like manner, it is pushed forward and scattered in all the mountains of the earth. And the spirit of the hoarfrost is his own angel, and the spirit of hail is a good angel. And he has left go the spirit of the snow on account of its strength. And it has been
here.
Frost, spirit of this. It has a special spirit, and that which ascend from it like smoke, and its name is frost. And the spirit of the fog is not joined with them in their repositories, but it has special repository. You know, it'd be easier for me if the unhighlighted part was what I was reading, actually. For its course is in the clearness and the light and the darkness and the winter and its summer. And its repository in the light. And it is the spirit of the angel. And the spirit of the dew has its dwelling place at the end of the heaven. I'm just going to read this as fast as possible.
It's up to
and
you,
is
man.
connected with the repositories of the rain and its course in winter and summer, and its
Can I just say,
clouds and the clouds of fog are
just-
connected, and one of them gives to the other.
Yeah, it's just describing weather. And I
Yes.
don't even like talking about the weather at work. I'd rather go team and talk some fake football or something. Right. So,
Even fake football.
yeah, well, shit.
Let's not go too fast.
No, well, it's not fake.
Okay, so I think the last line at the beginning, the first line at all the beginning of that was more on topic, and all of this is talking about. I think it's only talking about how we will know things in the future that Enoch understands, but still it's cryptic, and it's just talking about future understanding of natural events.
As a side note in the chat, Nerdy was saying that who blamed the stars. I did actually pay to get 2 stars named, Nerdy. I paid for 2 stars in the constellation of Leo, because I am a Leo. So I paid for 2 stars in the constellation of Leo, one to be named after the daughter. It is a central star in a dual star system, and then the other one that actually orbits it is, I named that after the girlfriend, and she will not put the poster up, she will not put anything up about it that I got her, because when I named it after the daughter, I gave it the daughter's initials, and when I named it after the girlfriend, I stuck Kinky in front of it, because Kinky MathPig's girlfriend is what she was known as whenever I met her in Plenty of Fish, and that's what I named it as. And she's not fucking happy at all.
You can't rename it.
I will not rename it.
Oh, okay.
I don't
Fair
even know
enough.
if you can, but no, I won't. No.
Fair enough.
No. She was like, what does the K stand for? Kinky. Why the hell did you put that in the front of it? Because that's what you were called when I met you. Anyway, right. I think this at the end of it is poignant.
Yes, I was just scanning backward there. Could you actually scroll it down a little bit where I could see about 3 more sentences there? And I think it's objectionable to people that they hear this, but I think it's going to be true in the second half of End Times.
Breathes out. Go on ahead, Richard.
Yes, sir.
If you want to read that.
And the angel of peace, who was with me, said to me, "These 2 monsters are prepared to be fed, according to the greatness of God, that the punishments from God be not in vain. And sons will be killed with their mothers, and children with their fathers. When the punishments from the Lord of the spirits shall rest over them, it will rest, so that the punishments from the Lord of the spirits may not come in vain over those. After that, there will be a judgment in his mercy and in his patience."
Okay, so I'm just going to point this out.
I know people don't want to hear that, but I think
At the
that
start of this
if you
episode-
stay on the earth long enough, this is the eventuality.
Yeah, well, at the start of it, you said he was nice and kind, and I was like, yes, and made a joke about overlords, and now this shit's happening.
Yep.
Just saying.
Not to try to justify it, but the truth of the matter is that if a person hold out to the very end of their own choice, their flesh is going to perish. And that's against what a lot of Christians believe of the end of this earth. However, it's in keeping with all the texts.
I can tell in your tone of voice that you feel you must defend this point, but you don't like to defend this point. I can hear that in your voice.
No, actually, I'm just sad
Yes, that's
that
what
I
mean.
know some people are going to stay.
Yeah, this bit upsets you.
It does. It's sad that people could be of the mindset where they so reject God, so reject heaven, that these things actually happen to them.
Again, man, we're bowing down to alien overlords. And I know your perspective, but you have to take that into account. And we've had references of things that are not nice. And yeah, you can definitely see the realization, you know, for you it's a realization that they are God and this, that and the other. But for everyone else, it's Independence Day.
It will be for a while, that's true.
I'm talking about the movie.
Yes, like alien invasion stuff, like really scary, I get
Yes,
it.
and that's not going to lead anyone down the route of... Anyway, we've been through this. We'll not repeat ourselves. Okay, right. Chapter 61. Go on ahead.
And I saw in those days that long, simple ropes that were just plain old rope cords were given to those angels. And they took to themselves wings and flew and went. Oh, wait a minute. I added some stuff there.
Hold on. I get lost. Yeah. Start again.
And I saw that in those days that Richard should tell MathPig, nope, they're just ropes. Long cords were given to those angels, and they took to themselves wings and flew and went toward the north. And I asked the angel, saying, why have these taken the long cords and have gone away? And he said to me, they went out to measure. And the angel who went with me said to me, these bring the measures of the just and the ropes of the just, that they may support themselves on the name of the Lord of the spirits to all eternity. And the chosen will begin and dwell with the chosen. And these measures will be given to faith and will strengthen the word of justice. And these measures will reveal all the secrets of the depths of the earth. And those who have been destroyed by the desert, and those who have been devoured by the fish of the sea, and by the beasts, that they return and support themselves on the day of the chosen one. For no one will be destroyed before the Lord of spirits, and none can be destroyed. And then received a command, all who dwell in the heights of heaven, and one power. And I want to stop right there, actually, at the beginning of 6.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Ruining my editing here, man. Like, come on, producing live here.
So I think what it's declaring here is all that measure will be saved.
You're just dying to get in there with a rope. Go on, make your rope comment. Go on.
And MathPig was just plain wrong when he said they were high-tech ropes. They're just ropes.
Right? No. Long cords, right? We need to find out what...
Yeah, long cords.
I'm going to highlight that because that needs to be referenced. Like, we need to find out the translation of chapter 61 here. Highlighting and green. We need to find out what that is.
Yes, that would be a good idea.
All right, because long cords is a word, and it's 2 words actually.
I'll tell you what I think it. I'll tell you right now what I think it's going to be. A non-stretch rope that wraps around the waist once tied in a knot goes down to the ankle on both ends.
And you have not checked. Again, I ask every other episode just to confirm.
I have not checked.
Just to confirm. Just to get this all on record, and I don't believe you are a liar. I trust you enough to say that. And
no, I don't think I need to look this stuff up.
Vibrantly Brantley, thank you, and I said it right. Thank you very much for turning up.
Don't worry, Vibrantly. He'll get it wrong next time. Don't act like things are getting weird. Everything's okay. So
moving on from my bad English. Yes.
Yeah. We should actually go and look that up in the.
Oh yeah, I could do that.
I don't know. Are they gonna? They're gonna have that somewhere, I suppose. In the citations, they're gonna have some direct translation of this. We'll just see if we can find it right now. Then.
Long cord. No, what am I looking for? Ancient Hebrew. Here, man, help me. Your Google game on this would be better. Ancient Hebrew?
Let's see. Actually, it may not be an ancient Hebrew. I don't really even know. I've never seen what languages. It might be Aramaic or something else. But I would just type in Book of Enoch long cords. That's what I would try, personally.
Yeah, it's just going to give you a shitload for Book of Enoch because it'll be the tag. You see, ancient.
I am bad at looking things up. That's true.
Right, we're trying ancient Hebrew for cord.
Well, you're going to get the original word.
There you go. We got a lexicon.
I'll get a lexicon. That'll help.
See, my Google game is strong.
Dun dun dun.
Right, how the fuck do we use a lexicon?
Where's Dr. Josh when you need him?
Hi, Dr. Josh. Not here. Cord. Cord. Making cords by twisting them together. The umbilical cord, a navel cord, a cord around the wrist, a bracelet, wall, encircling a city. A wall again, a harness, armor made for tightly wound cords of leather. Tied up, cord, navel. I think we're getting the rough idea here. Yeah, I think we got the rough idea there.
Basically, a rope is all it's going to tell us.
I'm still not going to say you're right.
No, you don't have to. Because in context, I could still be wrong.
Right. Chapter 61. We've done that. I'm
going to go ahead and, since we're taking kind of a break anyway, I'm going to answer to Geo Sam. What's Richard's take on the Galactic Confederacy? I guess that's a Star Trek or a Star Wars reference.
I'm not sure. I think it might be Star Wars. It's definitely not Star Trek.
Okay, Star Wars reference.
No, I think that was the Republican Star Wars, and then the Empire. So I don't know where he's coming from with the Galactic Confederacy. Not sure. Anyway, what do you think? I assume they're all the same idea.
What, the word rope? Word
stop
cord?
talking about that. You're wrong. Move on. What do you think of the Galactic Confederacy?
I tell you what I do think for real, and this is in the text. It's not in the books of Enoch, but it is in the Bible that it says that there will be no liars in heaven. It says that heaven's the promised land. It says that when we get to the promised land, there'll be those there who do not call our God God. So then, by definition, they're living in God's house, not lying that He's not their God.
Oh, it's
it's
a Scientology reference.
So I think that's describing an intelligent that lives with our God in our heaven who are not our kind.
So there is aliens.
I think the Bible does briefly touch on the existence of aliens. I do.
Okay. Right.
The only thing it says about them is we're not to marry them or give our daughters to marriage. That's what it says.
I have to say, though, do you know who did lie to me?
Who?
The History Channel and Ancient Aliens. Because this, we've got nearly finished, and it doesn't sound nearly as spaceshipy. And now it does sound spaceshipy. Especially take into context who the fuck I'm talking to. It does sound spaceshipy. But in certain aspects of what I've seen, it was like, oh, they describe all these flashy lights and this, that, and the other that could be totally the console of a computer. I ain't got to know.
Not really.
I ain't got to any of that yet.
No, the peals of thunder and lightning and the storehouses of the weather and stuff like that. The best that I can do, the furthest I can drag it away from the actual text, and it still makes some sense to me, is that I do believe that all the materials that are not naturally on a planet that would have to be put onto this planet to make it into a world are stored in heaven. Things like water, huge amounts of mixed air, etc. like that. All the animals, all the plants that we find here.
The metal to the core of the planet to make it have a magnetic field for us to even...
Say again?
The metal, iron, core.
Well, according to the text, he picks metal back up off of here. But he also says in the text, I claim things that I didn't put there. So, takes it all, even if some just like fell from outer space or whatever. And how big is a mountain? A mountain is a pretty undefined measurement of an amount of metal. So I don't know.
Richard, I'm going to I'm going to start doing something, okay?
Yes.
Right. Everybody can see what I'm doing here. Okay, we're opening up a text document, and we're calling this Richard's Quotes. Okay? Now.
Why did I say something funny?
No, you didn't say something funny. You said, it says in the Bible somewhere that they're going to take things from the earth that they don't own, or whatever it was that I'm paraphrasing. Can you say that?
It's in the parable of the three servants. that normally called the parable of the talents.
Right, and it states...
It states God claims things that he does not own.
From this earth.
Yeah.
God claims things he does not own from this earth. That is what it says.
Right? Like, the way I take that is he's going to recover things he didn't put here.
No. Does it say from this earth, or does it say from the city? Does it say from this place? Are you interpreting earth?
Oh, you want me to tell you? You want me to tell you exactly what the parable of the talents says?
No.
I'll tell you that.
No. I don't want that. What I want is I want a reference point, so when you say these things, I can look them up, because I know you're not going to, and I know you don't want to, and I totally understand your point of view, but it's doing my fucking tits in. So, okay. I've got a new folder. When you say things, I'm going to put a number to it. So, God claims in the parable of the 3 servants / talents, God claims he takes what? He takes things he did not place here.
Right. He's going to collect more than he actually gave out.
Collects things that he did not place here.
That's fair.
Yeah?
Yep.
Right. This is shit I'm going to look up. Okay.
Did you write down the parable of the talents? I can't read that small.
Yes, parable of 3 servants / talents, and it states that God claims he takes things that he did not place here.
Right, he's calling himself the master who leaves town. Wink, wink. And he invests in 3 of his servants. One of them he gives 5 talents. One he gives, I think, 3, and the other one 1, or maybe 2 and 1. And the one who only gets 1, he's so scared he just hides it. He doesn't invest it, and he doesn't give back to the master any return. So the master says, I take stuff that doesn't even belong to me. Come on.
So the master says it. So in the story, right, but this is the whole point. You're stating God claims, and in the story it says master over servant. So it's an interpretation. Right. That's why I want to look these things up to see whether it states God, because most people...
doesn't.
It doesn't. You see, this is why I want to look these things up. So we are called Richard Quotes. So we're saving that. We're going to keep that wee folder, and every now and again we're going to add to that wee folder, because... Right?
Well, while we're on it, what other things can you think of? I'll state them again.
Right. People. Right. The regulars. We've got 11 people watching, okay?
Sweet.
And we're missing Critical, because Critical, this is something that's annoyed him. Right? And I know that I can't make this any bigger, can I? Can we zoom in? Can we zoom in? Oh, frick me, that zoom in is very slow. Control and plus. Right. Where's the plus? Can you see that?
Can read that.
Yeah?
Looks good.
Okay. People in the chat, is there things that Richard has said or stated?
This will be fun.
Yes, this is going to be very good fun. Has anyone someone fucking Sal, DM Critical, tell him to come over here for 10 minutes. Has anyone heard anything that Richard has said, that the Bible has said, and not made a reference point to it? No, like I'm gonna.
Oh, I know one. Let's see. Lucy Luxor said, and someone else said, it does not say in the Bible that Jesus had a red hair. Yeah, I know. They call him the red calf. They say that the red calf is pure and a sign of end times. Yeah.
Right? We're going to need to look that up.
Yeah, the actual reference is the red calf without blemish.
Okay. I don't care. I go with the gingers. Jesus was a ginger. I'm happy enough with that.
That's definitely one. People got their panties in a wad over that one.
Yeah. Anything else? What was the one that Darth called you out on?
Well, be sure to write down red calf prophecy, because it won't make sense. There's no answer there. Yeah, the Jews, I think, continuously look for a red heifer that has less than 3 white hairs on it. They haven't found one yet, but they keep looking because they think it's about a cow.
Yes, Sammy. Sammy's here. Sammy's in the chat. Come on, Sammy. Don't just say, my goodness, there's several. Like, just give me, give me some, right?
Richard's catchphrase, I'm not good with numbers. Well, that's true, but I don't know how it helps anything.
It's the point he's saying that when we've asked you for these references before, your reply is, I ain't good with numbers.
As for Pete, gonna go for it. Richard, how can a calf be a lamb? How can a calf be a lamb? Be a human being? Be a ram? Be a let's see, what else? Be two olive branches? Be two candlesticks? How about that?
Oh,
how can it be all that?
Beej has just committed a wonderful time. Bree, we're making a list of how crazy Richard is. So if you've heard anything that you have heard...
Hello, Beej Price.
If you've heard anything that you think Richard's made a quote of the Bible and misquoted, said wrong, anything like
Red
that.
lambs. Well, there is the lamb as it's slain. I suppose it'd be covered in blood and red, I guess, yeah.
Well, there's the Passover and all that. Right, we're running
out.
Oh,
yeah.
I get lost in these things that Richard says because he started to make me think like him. Not.
Well, Passover means literally pass over, like heaven in the sky. You assign value to the left doorpost, right doorpost, blood on the top as well. That's the sign of the cross.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Is it not?
It's like saying I accept Christ now, and then those people go to heaven. Of course, nothing bad happens to them. No plagues on them after that.
Richard's verse, I send no prophet.
Ah, yes. I sent no prophet, you killed my prophets. Which to me means that the prophets didn't speak, because he only sends one speaking prophet.
Why am I spelling this so wrong?
I sent no prophet, comma, you killed my prophets.
Prophet.
Of course, that no prophet in context would mean no speaking prophet, specifically. Yeah, you can find that one real easy on like atheistic websites that say, oh, here's one of those things where the Bible contradicts itself.
Oh, and we're doing this just to make it clear.
It's, how do I pronounce that? Enoch, gosh darn it. It's Enoch.
It's bloody Enoch, right? Come on, Sammy. I'm doing so many things here with like 4 screens. Help me out, man. You've talked to him nearly as much as me.
True story. Let's see. What are we doing right now? We're talking about all the stuff that people have objected to that I've said that they thought made no sense and maybe wasn't even in the text.
Yeah, I'm not sure, Beej, if you understand Richard's point of view. You know where Richard's coming from. We're reading the Book of Enoch at the minute, trying to fit it into his belief system, point of view, interpretation. I don't know, maybe mental illness because he's crazy. Whatever you want to call it.
Right. Yeah.
Not to. But yeah, we're moving on.
Hey, Beach Price, I didn't see you in the chat when Shannon Q and I were live. I really thought I'd see you there that day.
Hello, Mr. Kitty. Kitty, you've been around. Things Richard has said is in the Bible that we're not sure. It does look a wee bit Christmassy on the white background, doesn't it?
What colors did Beach Price just
Red
refer
and
to as Christmas colors?
If you can see the actual chat on the screen.
What colors again?
That looks a little purple. Looks a little purple to me.
Red and green right here. Yeah.
Looks a wee bit purple to me.
Oh, that's your eyeballs. That's magenta, red, and emerald. You can't get more red and green than magenta and emerald.
Right. We're going to give it 30 seconds because of the delay. And if nobody has any more questions, we're going to go back to the chapter. I would say if we do next week. No. If we do
Theological Introspection asked about the chariot in the sky that Enoch witnesses. I think all the references to chariots in all of the religions is talking about heaven's arrival. that the reason that they're flying chariots is because, well, they really are. They're vehicles, but they're not restricted to the ground.
Right. That's going to be open in the background at all times when I stream with you from now on, Richard.
Roger that, sir.
See where I can just flip like that. Boom. Richard's craziness.
Lovely.
Back to the original text. Richard's craziness. Back to the original text.
You should just go ahead and call it the document Richard's Craziness. There you go.
No, it doesn't have just the ring of it. We've got a name now, man. The History of. And we're going to do
the history of.
Yeah. That's the whole series now. This is series 2 and series 3. I'm thinking series 3. Also, people in the chat, we're getting close to the end. So if you have any ancient text, and we're talking ancient, like, don't be coming at me with some Scientology, or don't be coming at me with something that the Mormons did or anything like that. You know, come at me with some Babylonians. Come at me with, what did you call that one Aaron Ra used to worship, you know, Dionysus. Come at me with some of these real old religions. A book with that everybody thinks is madness, and Richard will try and make sense of it. And I'll tell him. Or
Greek, Latin mythology, whatever. Native American, whatever you got.
Yeah.
We could talk about Hinduism. Hinduism has a really long story.
Yeah. Anything you've got that, Richard, you would say you would be happy if I threw out a random number, say, and a religion or an ancient story or a creation myth that is over 1,000 years old, over 500 to 800 years old. Where are we going with a number here? Roughly.
How old does it need to be? Gosh, I don't.
Well, for you to
really
consider,
have an answer for that.
Well, I'm being very arbitrary here. I'm being really arbitrary. You know, if someone
I think Judaism is about the youngest religion. I mean, Judaic religions are the youngest religions on the planet that qualify. Anything older than Judaism.
Right, so anything older than 1,500 to 2,000 years old.
Sure.
Perfect, right. If you can find a work of, I was going to say a work of fiction. If you can find...
call it fiction for now, it's cool.
A mythological story, a book, or something like that that's not fucking crazy long. Don't be coming at us with 1,000 pages, like. And, yeah, we'll give it a go. We'll work our way through it. And we'll do that for Series 3. We'll take a pool, maybe pull one out of a hat. I don't know. We'll go with that. Right,
Beach Price already got her vote in. She wants us to talk about the Nephilim. Geo Sam asked if there's any parallels between what I believe is true and the claims of Scientology. Geo, I'm only almost 8 years old now. I don't know the claims of Scientology. If you would describe them to me, I'd speak to you about it.
Breeze, if you look back, I think it was 2 episodes ago, we went deep into the Nephilim. We even brought up a picture, and that's the reference that Richard was talking about with the ropes earlier in this episode, because they're using a rope to measure the distance between their wingspan, their arm span, and yeah, I think it was 2 or 3 episodes ago, we went deep into that. Well, deep. We went through it, we had pictures, so yeah, look back, watch the other episodes. Right, Richard, have we done 6 or are we lining up for 6? We're lining up for 6, are we?
Lining up for 6, I believe.
Right, go on ahead.
All right. And then received a command of all who dwell in the heights of heaven, and one power, and one voice, and one light, like the fire was given to them. And that one first they blessed and exalted and glorified with wisdom, and showed themselves wise in speech and in the spirit of life. And the Lord of the spirits placed his chosen one upon the throne of his glory, and he will judge all the deeds of the holy ones in heaven, and will weigh their deeds on scales. And when he shall raise his countenance to judge their paths, that they are secret by the word of the name of the Lord of spirits, and their path in the way of the just judgment of the highest God. Then they will all speak with one voice, and bless, and praise, and exalt, and glorify the name of the Lord of spirits. And then will they cry out, all the host of heavens, and all the holy ones above, and the host of God, cherubim and seraphim and ophanim, and all the angels of power, and all the angels of supremacies, and the chosen one, and the other powers on the earth above the water on that day, and will raise one voice, and will bless and glorify and praise and exalt in the spirit of faith and in the spirit of wisdom and of patience, and in the spirit of mercy, and in the spirit of judgment and of peace, and in the spirit of goodness. And will all say with one voice, Blessed is he, and blessed be the name of the Lord of spirits, in eternity and to eternity.
Can you read it all right there, yeah?
Oh, sure, as long as it's just jumping up and down, that makes it easy. It fits right in with my hypertension and epilepsy.
Yeah, I have.
Those are not funny jokes.
Yeah, I had to find it funny though that you waited till we got on the third go of the 8 episode before you told me that when I don't highlight it, it's easier to read. You know, I've only been.
I only just noticed.
Oh, you only just noticed. Okay.
Sorry.
Right.
As soon as it occurred to me, as soon as I realized it, I said something.
Right. Okay. Saying nothing. Right. I'm now lost again. Okay. Going through it.
You guys think I'm joking when I say I'm slow, but I'm not kidding.
Oh, no. I wouldn't go so far as saying that. You're eccentric and a little bit weird, but you're definitely not slow.
Yeah, those things are definitely true.
Yeah, I only like
let's see. What do we got here in review?
Basically, this is what it's going to be like when you go to heaven. Wow, I talked about
No. I wish Christians would quit saying that.
I'm not a
saying
Christian.
that this is what I know. But you've learned Christian doctrine your whole life, I know.
Well, that's what it sounds like to me from the culture that I was raised in.
I personally take it like if I take my child to a water park and they go down the water slide and I take a Polaroid picture of the child halfway down the slide with their arms in the air and water bursting out everywhere and their mouth is wide open and they're in swimming trunks and the sun is hot. And that's what the picture is. The child doesn't stay that way. To think that child is stuck in that position the rest of their life is just ridiculous. To take the text, which is only a snapshot of end times, and say that's what heaven is and that's what angels do forever, it's just silly. It can't even possibly mean that. Oh my gosh, if that were true, go ahead and take me to heaven, but take my brain away and make me a robot. Because I'm not going to enjoy anything from that moment forward. If that would be the rest of my existence.
Just to interrupt you, because I haven't interrupted you in a while. This is the list we come up with, Sammy. I know you're back and forth. This is what we've got so far. Feel free to add more. We will answer them at a different date. These questions are going to be all answered at the end of series party. We're going to have an end of series party like we did with the last one. We're going to build a list of questions. Yeah. Don't be fucking running off this time, Richard. I know we tangent last time, but don't run away this time.
Let's see. Theological Introspection wrote, Code of Hammurabi is the Epic of Gilgamesh. Yeah, that sounds like a good one to do. I mean, I cry. Like reading the Bible, I cry. And reading the Epic of Gilgamesh, listening to Digital Hammurabi do it was just beautiful.
That's what I was going to say. Theo's only new to our wee community, and Dave's been dragging him around live streams. At the minute, Digital Hammurabi hasn't been doing as many live streams because they've got a wee bit bigger. Me and Richard have been personally following them from the very, very start. You know, they're absolutely fantastic. Richard has been privileged enough to have Dr. Josh on. I'm too shy to ask him because I can't think of good questions. But go look up Digital Hammurabi, man. They have playlists on reading it. They've just released their second book, which is designed to help educate the layman. They do the HAPS program. It's the only Patreon I will never stop fucking paying money into. They use that. Oh, don't care. They have used that money to send multiple students away during their summer program because it's very hard to get funding for them to do their dissertation. I think that's right. Yes, from an American point of view, dissertation. To
expound on that just a little bit, it's people going for their doctorates in Assyriology.
Yes,
and they're helping fund them so that they can do their summer projects overseas on site and such like that.
Yeah, something like $1,500 to $2,000 per student gives them enough money to be able to go and do that, and it's definitely worthwhile looking into. HAPS program. Humans.
Oh, and speaking of which, if you'll allow me, just real quick, Matt.
Humans Against Poor Scholarship. Okay, all yours.
Right. Humans Against Poor Scholarship. That's right. So you may not be aware, but I actually paid very, very close attention to things that Dr. Josh and Megan did not frequently say. and that they actually ended up paying 1/3 of that $6,000 out of their own pocket.
That is true. They are in the process of getting it changed to a charity so they don't have to pay tax. But for the first year, that's a good point to point out, Richard. Thank you for that. They get stung on the tax and all the funding. You know, when Patreon takes their wee bit, they put all that in from their own money. And you know, Dr. Josh works a job and does this on top of it, does all his studies on top of it. And Megan is pregnant again, which is fantastic. And she's had to take some time out. She's been studying. You know, they don't have 2 and 3 wages and £100,000 coming into the house. They did all that, and they're an inspiration. More people like them. Right, before we all start getting welled up with their loveliness and how nice they are.
Yes, they're a lovely couple. They really are. And beautiful children, too.
Yes, most definitely. Right, we've read 6. And it's not heaven, according to Richard.
It's just a flash description of what we'll see when we're being elevated into heaven, not the permanent heaven.
I have that picture that you were describing though as well. I have multiple pictures of them: swimming pool, non-swimming pool, park, garden. Yeah, she loves this life.
Good.
As an update from last week, potty training's going well. She's now not afraid to do number 2s. Way!
Oh! Little clap for the child who can't hear it, but anyway.
Okay. Verse 12, chapter 61.
And all who do not sleep in high heavens will bless him. Say it again.
You said all who do not sleep. I was like, is he talking about me?
Yeah. And all the insomniacs in heaven will bless him, and his holy ones who are in heaven will bless him, and all the chosen who dwell in the garden of life, and every spirit of light who is able to bless and glorify and exalt and say, Holy to thy sacred name, and all flesh, which will exceedingly praise and bless thy name to all eternity. For great is the mercy of the Lord of spirits, and he is slow to anger, and all his doing, and all his power, as much as he has made, he has revealed to the just and to the chosen in the name of the Lord of spirits.
Okay, before you start, before you jump in with your wee bit, okay, I'm going to highlight from here. I'm going to put to here. For great is the mercy of the Lord of the spirits, and he is slow to anger. He ain't fucking slow to anger, because as we followed in, I think, last episode or 2 episodes ago, you have 7 years to sort your shit. Alright?
That's right. That's
7
apparently
years.
slow to anger.
That doesn't seem slow to anger for a man that lives, or a being that lives forever. Okay? For great is the mercy of the Lord. Ain't got no mercy. He's broke down our doors. He's come in. He's give us 7 years, and then he's blown us up. He is slow to anger. Not slow to anger. He's given us 7 years. And all his doing and all his power, as much as he has made, he has revealed to the just, to the chosen, in the name of himself. So, yeah, I've picked some people. They're cool. Everybody else can go fuck themselves. And if they don't sort themselves out in 7 years, they're going to get blown up.
I guess it depends on how you take slow to anger to mean, like what time frame is it being talked about. I could take that to not mean 7 years, but the life of man on the planet.
No. You said 7 years. Don't be freaking picking and choosing.
No, I'm saying end times is 7 years. I did say that. True.
Yeah. Okay, moving on before you try and dig yourself a wee hole or dig yourself out of it. We're going to go on to this. Evil alien overlords that do speed to anger. 7 years, which we agreed a couple episodes ago, is a blink of an eye. It's like a day. It's like a week.
Much of people will totally agree with you, I am sure. That 7 years is not enough time to adjust, and they will believe that heaven is alien overlords. They will. So I have to kind of agree with you.
I'm totally going to frickin' work on a video where I'm going to throw in some Mars attacks.
From what I can understand of the text, we attack them. They don't attack back. They just wait.
If I totally strawmanned you with a cartoon parody video that had Mars attacks and
I'd crawl into a closet and cry. I'll be fine. Go ahead. Have fun.
If anything, people will find it funny and come to see what you actually believe. Right. Chapter 62.
Sure, why not? Okay.
And just to say, hold on. How big is chapter 62? Chapter 62. Yeah, 62.
Let's see. And thus the Lord commanded the kings of the powerful and the exalted and those who dwell upon the earth and said, open your eyes and lift up your horns, if you are able to recognize the chosen one. And the Lord of the spirits sat upon the throne of his glory, and the spirit of justice was poured out over him. And the word of his mouth slew all the sinners and all the impious, and they were destroyed before his face. Then will stand up on that day all the kings and the powerful and the exalted and those who hold the earth, and will see him and will know that he sits on the throne of his glory, and that the just are judged in justice before him, and that there is no word spoken in vain before him. And pain will come over them, like a woman who is in travail, and to whom the birth is at hand. Oh, birth is hard. When the son enters the mouth of the mother, and he has pain in giving birth. And one portion of them will look upon the other, and will tremble and cast down their countenances. And pain will seize them, and they will see the Son of the woman sitting on the throne of his glory. And the powerful kings and all who hold the earth will honor and bless and exalt him who rules over, who was hidden. For formerly the Son of Man was hidden, and the Most High preserved him before his power, and has revealed him to the chosen, and to the congregation of the holy, and the chosen will be shown. And all the chosen will stand before him on that day.
Sown. It's not shown, there's no H.
Oh, you're right, that does say sown.
It's maybe a spelling mistake, but...
I think that's a typo. I think it's supposed to be shown.
Moving on.
Because that would be S-E-W-N.
Yeah, it's both wrong in both ways.
It's wrong either way.
Yeah.
I think it's supposed to be shown. And all the chosen will stand before him on that day, and all the powerful kings and the exalted, and they who rule on the earth will fall before him upon their faces, and will worship, and will hope in the Son of Man, in this Son of Man, and will petition him and ask him for mercy. And that Lord of spirits will only press them, that they hasten to leave his presence, and their countenance will be filled with shame, and darkness will be heaped upon their countenances. I want to stop right there at 11. So, yeah, feel free to highlight what you need.
Yeah, no, it's alright. I'm trying to do the chat as well. They're asking questions. If we can, I'm going to go to the end of chapter 62, and then we'll probably round up. We'll be going for a wee bit. And if everyone can keep their questions to the end, it's just I'm using, like, I'm chatting on my phone, and then I'm doing this in one screen and this in the other, and trying to listen to
There's a lot to handle all at once.
Yeah, damn. Yeah, I can understand why producers don't fucking come on screen.
No, well, just tell people stop entering things into the side chat. Leave it just where it is right now. And then we'll address the questions just as they lie. How's that?
That's pretty
Don't
much
type anything.
Just ask them at the end of the chapter. We're going to go to the end of chapter 62.
Okay.
It's just, yeah, we can highlight this whole thing now. Okay.
I think these parts do look very, very severe.
Yeah, they're not.
But when I ask someone who's very, very staunch about being a skeptic or agnostic or what have you, and I ask them what would change their mind about the existence of God, and sometimes I get the answer, nothing. Nothing would change their mind. Well, you can be as tough as you want. You can think you're Billy Bad Joe tough guy. You can think whatever you want. You see all this, everything that's being described in end times. Boy, I pray that you don't hold yourself to that standard that you've set. I pray that you will change your mind and accept the gift of our ancestors, that you'll be okay. I understand it's a different kind of description. I understand it's a different paradigm. But I also understand that it's going to be just as tough as you want it to be. It's going to be just as tough as you personally need it to be.
No, I have disagreements with how you want it to be and how you need it to be. It'll be as tough and as rough as the alien overlords make it for you.
But you can also leave at any time.
You can do what you're told, or leave.
No, it's not doing what you're told. That's not even part of it. I mean, not understanding it and just bowing to it wouldn't allow a person into heaven.
Okay.
That would actually keep a person out. If they have misunderstandings about it, that's a no-go.
Right, go on ahead. Finish this. We'll round it up because I know people are dying to ask questions.
Okay, we'll try to get to that as quickly as possible.
I know Peter's typed like 50 times just to annoy me and typed 50 times. Stop it, Peter!
Let's see. Where are we at? It looks like all the way to the top of that. Is that right?
I highlighted the entire chapter, but we were down to about here, I think.
Okay, that's what I thought. 11, right?
Yeah, wasn't it?
11? Okay.
11?
Yeah, I think so.
11?
And the angels of punishment will receive them, take vengeance upon them, because they have abused his children and his chosen, and they will be a spectacle for the just and for his chosen, and they will rejoice over them. Because the wrath of the Lord of the spirits rests upon them, and the sword of the Lord of the spirits is drunk with them.
Just to pause that, just to say, the sword is drunk with causing wrath on people. You enjoy.
That's right.
Yes, you enjoy getting drunk. There's children being involved. They're enjoying this. Okay, go on ahead. And the just and the chosen are saved. Wonderful. At least somebody are saved. Go on ahead.
And will henceforth not see the face of the sinners and of the unjust.
Okay.
And the Lord of the spirits.
Sorry. Just as we go over this, while we're getting there. So they're
permanent.
they're taking the just and the chosen away, so they don't get.
That's
to
right.
Yes. So they don't get to see the fucking absolute murder and slaying and destruction that the people are doing on them. They're being.
So all you Christians who think you get to sit back and enjoy someone else going to hell, you're wrong.
Yeah, you don't get to watch. More manipulation. We're lovely, we're good. Where's the other people? Oh, they just decided to stay on Earth. Oh, did they? Yeah, lovely. Okay, bye.
And the Lord of the spirits will dwell over them, and they will dwell with the Son of Man, and will eat, and will lie down, and rise again with him to all eternity. And the just and the chosen will have risen from the earth, and will have ceased to cast down their faces, and will be clothed with the garments of life. And these will be the garments of life before the Lord of spirits, and your garments will not become old, and your glory will not decrease before the Lord of the spirits.
Yes, you're going to live forever, because you're wonderful and just and chosen.
Oh, wait a minute. To be fair, if we're going to say God is proud and too glorious and too full of himself, right here it says the individual will be glorified, not God. So we have to point that one out to be fair.
Where's that there now? Just...
And your glory will not decrease before the Lord.
Shout a number at me. Oh, we're here. Right. And your glory will not decrease before the Lord of spirits.
Just to be fair.
So what is that? And you're saying that means...
People who go to heaven don't ever decrease or become like physically disabled or become less. They become apparently more.
From what I read from that, and your glory will not decrease from the Lord of the spirits. As in, that's to me, from looking at it from your point of view, with a touch of it means to be an equal.
Yes, it's very close to that. In fact, in the Christian Bible, and Christians skip over this, I tell you that ye are gods.
Well, you do say that. That's another thing to add to the list that you have said. Scripture says that. Hold on. We are gods. And do I need to put in brackets, not Mormonism?
It's true, it's not Mormonism. It is actually in the text, though.
Look at how I spelled that. How dyslexic am I?
Well, you just kind of made it all one word. You just saved a lot of ink.
Yeah, because ink's important on a text screen that's digital.
Sure.
Right, bringing back this. Yeah, well, I take that as being an equal for the people who have been, saved, so to speak. But again, these people are being manipulated. These people are not seeing the whole honesty. These people are people who have accepted. You know, it's like, oh, this is wonderful that he is now, you know, God and the Savior and all the crack. And they've been accepted. And the people who don't, they're like, oh, where's Cousin Jimmy? Cousin Jimmy decided to stay on Earth. Oh, did he?
From what I can understand, Cousin Jimmy only happens 1 in 264,000 plus.
Yeah, well.
Okay, now it's sad that 1 in 264,000 would choose that. It's sad. Okay? But rare, apparently. I think it's a special kind of crazy to stay on the earth through all of this.
That's still 4 in every million. And there is at the minute close to 7-8 billion people in the world. So that's a lot of people. That's a lot of Cousin Jimmys.
Yep, that's 31.5 thousand people.
And just to point out,
stay to the very end of it and have to be faced with God and God decide. Doesn't mean they're going to hell. Don't know.
I know this is a statement, and what I'm about to say is a statement, and it's an open statement, and it should be pointed out. But you know, we're all humanists here. We all should worry about each other. And 5 Jimmys, 10 Jimmys, 15 Jimmys.
It's too much.
You know, well, I wouldn't go so far as saying it's too much, but 31,000 is a hell of a lot.
I think 1 is too much.
Well, that's a different conversation. That you can't put an arbitrary number on it. But now we're going to end this. Bye, Robbie. Is this, that, and the other? Okay. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion, but 31,000 is definitely far too much.
Let's pick back up next time at 63. Let's stop right here. And if people have questions, it looked like people were really interested in saying some stuff.
Yes. And yeah, definitely. If anyone wants to make references to the good places where I was going with that, you ask the question, you have a train going down 2 tracks, you wipe out 5 people, you wipe out the baby. You know, the option is you sacrifice yourself. That's, you know, it's the unwritten answer, so to speak. Not to say, but 31,000 is a hell of a lot of people that get left behind. And especially the fact that the people who are saved get taken away and do not see this happening. The fact that the people who are killing them, their weapons, the swords, their personalities is drunk from doing this.
Yes, it's harsh language. It's trying to make a point.
We have a question. Hashtag Jimmy's Lives Matter. Also
Jimmy's Lives Matter, yeah.
We have a question. If he can slay people with his mouth, why did he drown the critters along with humans? And does Richard think the Son of Man is the son of Adam?
Okay, Beach Price. If he can slay people with his mouth. The Christians have a very, very different view than I do of the text. I believe that God gives orders that angels carry out, not that God has magic mouth powers. Drowns critters along with humans. I believe the word waters means spirits of men and that we are the flood. And yes, there is a flood that is destroying the planet, but we have no record of a physical flood because there just hasn't been one. But that's because we are the flood, which explains a lot about the text, like we lift up Noah's ark. We elevate the waters. We've covered every mountain. And I think we actually have now covered every mountain. Do I think the Son of Man is the son of Adam? If the word son in Son of Man were capitalized to be a phrase meaning Christ, and from what I understand in the first Adam and Eve story, Adam means God, then definitely Christ would be a son of God, as in everyone else's daughters and sons of God as well. So I guess yes, Adam would be God, and then Christ would be the Son of God. Yeah, if that's what you mean. If it's not what you mean, Son of Man is the son of Adam. Do I think people descended from Adam? Yes, but I think Adam is God, and I don't think there's ever been groups smaller than, say, I don't know, 2 to 10,000 per landmass on the planet. I think there's always been more people than that we were dropped off at that amount. About 10,000 people per landmass
Yeah, there was multiple drops of what you would refer to as the Homo sapien. Well, what we would refer to as Homo sapien sapien. Was dropped off. Adam was one of the leaders of, or one of these people, the people that dropped us off. Adam is the original Jesus that came from another planet.
That there's a conflict just in first generation after Adam and Eve in the text that Cain goes off and gets married, but he didn't take any sisters with him. He goes to another town. How's there a town there? How's there the land of Nod if there's no people?
Every time Sorry, just as a personal reference growing up, every time someone says the land of Nod, all I think of is Command and Conquer.
Don't know what that means.
Command and Conquer is a game that was out on the PC, a very basic. You build an army, you go find someone, you blow them up, and the enemies were from the land of Nod.
Interesting. Whenever I hear the word Nod, I hear the childhood poem, Winkin' and Blinkin' and Nod.
Right.
Talking about a child going to sleep, winking and blinking and nod.
One last question. Demolished doctrine. How can we trust in the accuracy of time in the words when people like Enoch and Adam almost live 1,000 years? He's new. There's a lot of 1,000 years in long living in.
There are. I believe all the 1,000-year lifespans is actually talking about them being in heaven, not on this planet, which is why they live so long. Which is promised to everybody, by the way.
Yeah. Right. Well, on that, I want to just say, everybody, thank you very much for putting up with our technical difficulties tonight. It wasn't all me. Yeah.
Wait a minute. None of it was you. That was all YouTube, buddy. You can't take any of the blame MathPig.
I think the last one might have been me messing about with a sentence, but we'll not discuss that.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, we have to blame me for something. Right, well, on that note, everybody, I want to just say thank you very much. Richard, do you want to do your bit? Anything coming up?
I don't have any shows coming up. I'd love to have Peter on, actually, or Beach Price, either one, or Geo Sam, or even remember Sammy Jenkins, or shoot, just about anybody who's in the chat right now, actually. I'd love to have a show with you guys. I was holding back and not doing very many shows because I was worried I might run out of hours before Shannon Q, and I was definitely going to get her on there. But now the rest of the month's free. Let's waste some hours. Let's get rid of them. So, actually, I'd like to talk to all you guys. Yeah.
Well, on that, we have this on Saturday. This is happening on Saturday. We have Randolph Richardson, who is the founder of Canadian Atheists, having a conversation. Duncan Atheism was very clear in this. It's not a debate. He does not do formal debates. I am totally...
What? He doesn't do conversations.
No, he only does conversations, is what...
No, he doesn't. He's a liar. Never heard him have a conversation.
Right, well...
Conversation is when you talk to somebody and then they respond and you respond to their response and you share ideas. That's a conversation.
Well, we have this happening on Saturday. Apologies for all the UK folk. All the American folk are going to love it. It's 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I think, works out at possibly 3 p.m. for you, Richard. No, don't quote me on that.
It's wrong, but that's okay.
Yeah, it's totally wrong. Yeah, we'll figure it out later. Yeah, we've got.
But anyway,
this.
you're going to be up till ridiculous in the morning.
Yes, and then this is the wonderfulness. On Sunday, we have... Oh, don't even get me started. On Sunday, we have... I'm going to do all this real quick. Look at this live production, aren't they fantastic? On Sunday, we have this.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
You're crazy, brother.
We do. And this is the title of the debate. Which is best for society? One based on religious beliefs or one based on secular beliefs? We have the four.
I'll answer that right now. Secular beliefs are better than your common religious beliefs, except for like Jainism and stuff.
We have
few odd
already
religions.
defined our layouts. We have defined an opening statement each of what is best. He gets 15 minutes. I get 15 minutes of defending.
Who's moderating?
We have Peter from Gonna Go For It on my
Oh,
side.
good.
And Jesus is Lord picked this one guy.
And this one guy is going to be moderating you, and Peter is going to be moderating Jesus is Lord, right?
Yep.
Good. That's the only way that's going to work out.
Yeah. And Peter's lucky enough to get away with shit that even I can't get away with. Don't know what's happening there. Geo Sam, shout out to everybody else in the chat. Geo Sam is looking an after blowy. I don't know. We might do an after show. I don't know. This Sunday's going to be fun. On Tuesday, I also have Deconverted Man. And if anyone is up for it, Wednesday night, I'm also going to be on Neil the 604 Atheists channel. It will be late. I'm not sure in the exact time. I've booked a whole day off work for Thursday for it. And yes, next Thursday we may or may not have a show because of the show I'm doing on Wednesday. And it is my daughter's birthday on Friday. And fuck the whole lot of yous, that's more important. So, I'm going to do that on Friday. We'll see how I feel on Thursday after the hangover. I think that's about it. Yeah, like, subscribe, do all the bits and bobs. We've got Teesprings, DaveCon's coming up. I don't know. Come on, help the channel grow. We're doing well in views. Everybody that turns up and everybody that stays, I want to say, yous are blowing my mind about how much yous actually hang about and watch. I can't get over it. I really can't. I don't know what's going on. I'm choked up. But, you know, spread the word. We need some subscribers. We want to try and get the numbers up. I know it really doesn't care, but for the algorithm to get the numbers out, or to get... We really want to get this out. We want to start drawing more people in. I feel like it's getting to the point where I'm running out of Christians to talk to. All right? And I don't want it to turn out like Skylar's channel, or to turn out like, you know... The other atheists, I'm picking on Skylar now because I can't think of anyone else, but, you know, Peter's channel, freaking Peter. Peter can't get anyone either. And it's not like Peter has a bad style or anything like that. I appreciate it and it's very good, but I don't want to end up in an echo chamber. I don't want to be called an echo chamber. So let's get the word out. Let's just spread it about. Get more people in, because the bigger our base, the better our opinions can be. The bigger our base, the more realistic it is. So, yeah.
Oh, I almost forgot. I'm going to be on Neil the 604 Atheists on the weirdest day of the year, the 29th of February.
You're going to be on Friday.
The 29th, yes.
Ah, and I'm on the Wednesday.
That's great.
I'll not even be able to watch that, man, because as I just said, my wee girl's birth. No, 29th is the Saturday, isn't it?
Oh, I don't know.
No, it is, because Friday's the 28th. Yes, my wee girl's birthday's on the Friday, and it's the 28th. So I'm on the Wednesday, you're on the Saturday. I might be able to squeeze into the after party. Yeah, definitely. You better
Awesome.
turn up for mine. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Don't hurt me later.
On that note,
Yeah.
everybody, thank you very much for turning up. You really do. Richard, nobody's watching. I've got the intro going.
Still, peace and respect to you all. Thank you all so much for attending.
Everybody,
Thanks for your questions and everything else.
Yeah, we might be back for some random madness. Hit me up on Twitter or hit me up on Discord, whichever is handiest for you. If you're not in the pigsty, the description is in the link is in the description. Hit it, go into it, whack me up in general chat, or if not, hit me up on Twitter. We might have an after party. We'll see what the crack is with Richard. And on that note, everybody, I'll say bye-bye.